next. Now, time for my political panel. I don't know how long it will last, my viewers, because we are waiting for the Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews. Liberal Senator Andrew Bragg and Labor Senator Malarndirri McCarthy join me. Welcome to both of you. I'm going to be quick. We are waiting for the Victorian Premier and we want to hear what he has to say. Just to you, Andrew Bragg, you are in an extended lockdown and it looks now that Victoria is about to enter one. Do you support the strategy that's currently being embarked on, particularly the extension of the New South Wales lockdown?
Well, good afternoon, PK. I mean, my view is you need to take a risk-based approach. We need to try and lock down where there are cases to try and stop community spread, but that should be focused around the risk. Now, where there are LGAs and where there are no cases, which are remote from other areas where there are cases, I think we should look to free up some of those areas of the state, yes.
Okay. So just to drill down in what you're actually saying, obviously that southwestern Sydney area is a real hotspot. Is it your view, like your colleague Jason Falinski argued, that some areas should exit lockdown and there should just be a more focused lockdown?
Well, I think we need to be moving in that direction, because to have the whole city locked down, which is a diverse city with quite different geographic profiles, locked down where there are cases in only a few areas, I think is not the sustainable approach here. So we need to be moving towards a risk-based approach in the next week or two, I hope. Okay,
next week or two. All right. So you're saying when that next announcement gets made, it should be very much place-based.
Well, ultimately, we need to move to an LGA by LGA basis, PK, because locking down a city of 5 million people on a permanent basis where there isn't spread everywhere is not sustainable.
But didn't that get you into the trouble you're in New South Wales at the moment? I mean, there was a localised lockdown and then within just a very short period of time, the Premier had to respond to that advice she received that the whole state had to go, well, the whole city had to go into lockdown.
No, I think the Premier's done a great job. I think the Premier has responded to the events as they have transpired. This has been a proportionate approach, but we can't live like this forever.
Okay. Malarndirri McCarthy, what do you make of the arguments Andrew Bragg makes? I mean, he's calling for a more localised approach rather than the whole of Greater Sydney being in this lockdown.
Oh, look, Patricia, we've seen certainly in the other jurisdictions, in particular here in the Northern Territory, we went hard, we went fast, immediately right across the Northern Territory. I don't think premiers in other states should be afraid to do that. I do hear what Senator Bragg is saying, but let's be realistic here. This particular strain is so dangerous, so dangerous. We only have to look to our north in Indonesia to see what is going on there, and we need to go hard and fast immediately.
So you think this kind of more specific approach that's been suggested by some Liberal MPs, one today on the show, but we had another one the other day, is the wrong approach?
You have to go hard and you have to go fast, Patricia. That is my view. I believe that we are seeing leaks right across Sydney as a result of the fact that Sydney didn't go hard and fast immediately.
Okay, so taking that back to you, if I can, Andrew Bragg, we are poised any moment, which means I'll have to crash into this panel to bring you the Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews to make that very important announcement. It looks to us, based on the information we've received here at the ABC, that it'll be a 5-day statewide lockdown. Do you think that's too generic, too hard and too large?
Well, look, the great thing about a federation is you can try different things. Now, I'm not an expert on what is happening in Victoria, but again, I'd say that we have had localised lockdowns and they have worked. I mean, over the Christmas period, the Northern Beaches locked down. They missed out on Christmas effectively. And then Sydney was free of COVID for some months. So it's not true to say the only way to do this is to lock the whole city or state down. When you're talking about cities on the scale of Melbourne and Sydney, this is a big judgment to make. So, look, let's see what he has to say.
Okay, we're going to see what he has to say, and no one's more interested than me and my Victorian viewers, let me tell you, because it has a material impact on all of our lives, of course, with this 5th lockdown looming, about to be announced by the Premier Daniel Andrews any moment here on ABC News. And, of course, you can stream it too on the YouTube channel as well. Just quick remarks from both of you, and starting actually with you, Senator Andrew Bragg, about this announcement that's been made by the Prime Minister. He'll take it to National Cabinet tomorrow, that you actually can get these emergency payments really from the start of any lockdown now, but they'll be paid in arrears after the first week. It strikes me that this should have been in the budget, Andrew Bragg, that we should have known about this rather than the Commonwealth cobbling something together now. Was this a blunder and an oversight?
Well, I think the reality is if the government is asking businesses to close down, it should be providing compensation. And the way in which that's done administratively is a matter for, the bureaucrats to sort.
Okay, here he is. I wanted to hear what you had to say, but we're taking you live now to the Victorian Premier, Daniel and